people who made it to the finals, I went ahead and submitted all of your missing results for you, so don't worry about it.
Aw,
Aw.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
And
Hey.
welcome to the Live Lounge. I am so excited to have players from the United States and India teams here to talk with you about their games and how their experience went. So exciting! And what an incredible end for the match. Huge congratulations to the United States. Big commiserations and great work to the Indian team. You guys fought so hard and seriously, very well
great
done,
job.
everybody. To our players here, do you want to share any general thoughts or moments of joy or outrage?
I'll just start off by saying that I had the privilege of going to India last year for the World Scrabble Championship event in Goa, and I'd never met a lot of the Indian Scrabble community before, and I have to say, like, y'all are one of the great communities in the world, just in terms of like spirit of the game and fun and being welcoming to new folks. I had an amazing time in India, and I highly recommend everyone out there, if you get the chance, you must go to a tournament in India sometime. Just great. I had so much fun. Seriously, it's like one of the great Scrabble communities in the world. And yeah, y'all killed it all tournament. Aditya, man, like if you play like that at some of these big tournaments, then we're going to be seeing you as like a champ before long. And just everyone on the team, like y'all were a formidable opponent.
Thanks so much for sharing that, Jesse. And Akshay, welcome. Nakul, welcome. Aditya, I have been meaning to ask,
Hello.
can you tell me how you pronounce your name? Because I've heard the emphasis differently in two different ways.
It's Aditya. So Aditya. But
Okay.
you can pronounce it.
Butchering of the pronunciation.
Awesome.
Hey,
Well,
I just
welcome.
want to say congrats to Team USA.
Thanks,
It'll
Akshay.
take us a while to get over this, but yeah, it's there's just so many close matches in this tournament, and I guess this was a matchup that was fitting for the final.
In your side of the bracket, every match was a 13-12. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the kind of stuff that takes years off your life.
Yep, that is tough. I do have some questions that came up during the games, but first, more fun run. Jesse, we have a question from Jeremy Koo in Singapore about why you're doing a Naruto cosplay. Care to comment?
I love costumes.
Excellent.
More seriously, like COVID, United States, we're kind of behind the rest of the world. I don't want to go get my hair cut yet. I don't trust any of my immediate friends to do the job. So, you got to get creative.
Fair enough. Yeah, Evans trusted me to give him a haircut a couple of months ago, and it was fun. It came out okay. I did not have the proper scissors, but it looked reasonable.
I should be
for a
more
COVID
altruistic.
haircut.
It would be fun for whoever does it, so I should let them have their fun.
It was pretty fun. All right. I do have some questions, and for all of our viewers at home, if you have any questions for the players, whether on these games or about Scrabble in general or their fun lives, let us know. One of the questions that we had was, Dave, when you were playing Sherwin, and we don't have Sherwin here, but you might be able to comment on this. Everybody was holding their breath, waiting to see one of the ollie hooks go down. And some people pointed out the Sarment hook to put the T on Tolly. And we were curious if you considered that maybe it just didn't show up when you were there. Oh, and you know what? Sherwin is just here, so I might repeat this question right now. Hey, Sherwin, welcome.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations, guys. Well done, Jesse.
Thanks.
Hey, Dave. Hey, Austin.
Hey.
Hey.
Great win, guys.
Oh, so glad
Yeah,
you could join us.
we had discussed that each other, and we both missed we were both unsure of all the hooks. Like he had something with Rolly,
Yeah.
and I had
You're right,
Tolly.
yeah.
I wasn't sure if
I-
Tolly with IE.
Same. I wasn't sure of Rolly until you played it, and I had a bingo there, and I would have sealed the game at that stage. So
Yeah.
bad toss for me.
Yeah.
When you play a word, you got to know the hooks.
Absolutely. That's my lesson from this tournament.
For sure. Yeah, we were all holding our breath, especially when we saw your rack Sherwin, because Wolvers would have gone down for over 100 points, and we all thought, oh, is he going to
Yeah.
see it? Is he going to do it? Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, I think I wouldn't have risked it at that stage because I wasn't too sure of it, and the game was too close. So I'd rather not do it and take a risk. But of course, it backfired. And Dave played fantastically well, so great job. Yeah.
Definitely. Austin,
So do you guys? Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
did you want to make a comment, Jesse?
No, I was just saying, like, well played.
Okay.
Repeating myself.
Austin, we have a question for you. I think this is in your last game when you played ORD in lieu of ORG. We have a question of why did you choose to keep the G? If you considered that.
I try to go through all the possibilities of what bingos I can play in both positions, but I thought there wasn't that much of a difference. Maybe I probably should. Well, in the end, I should have put the G, but it's one of those 50-50-ish kind of moves. I had other possibilities also to play, like law or something. Wasn't sure what was the best one to do. I needed a bit more time.
For sure. Makes sense.
Don't we all?
Yeah. Conrad, welcome to the chat. We can see you pretty well, despite your internet perhaps not being the best. You'd mentioned
virtually non-existent.
you weren't the person of the worst disconnect issues today, so there's that prize.
I didn't disconnect once, amazingly, but I've used a lot of data in the last day.
I bet.
But hopefully I'll have a cable wire coming in later today from Comcast. Yay, let's all hope.
Yay! 3 cheers for Conrad having wired internet. We'll all be happy for you.
Yeah. For context, Dave Wiegand lives 6 blocks that way.
Oh,
so
amazing.
I couldn't just walk to his house.
Yeah, cool.
Dave sounds thrilled about this.
Well, with COVID, it could still be like 2 states over for all.
Yeah.
We see each other. But
outside beer and someday Scrabble.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
it's
that's
an
We'll get
adorable
together, I'm
cameo.
sure.
Hi.
Oh, hello! We have a little visitor on Austin's screen.
Yeah, this is Penny. I recently just adopted her as well. So.
And congratulations so much on your adoption, Austin. I was super excited when Lindsay told me.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Does she want to say hi?
Or
anything?
Oh,
Hi.
Hi.
so stealing.
Awesome. Conrad, you'd mentioned in a chat that you had a pretty gnarly reaction after you played to lock in one of your games. We don't know what your rack was, but do you want to talk about that for a moment?
Oh, in that game, I think in my last 20 tiles, I drew 2 consonants and a blank. So, my bad. I played to lock keeping E blank, setting up a huge lane. There were 2 S's left, but I figured there was a chance, and I drew AAEEI. And, well, that was how my day personally went today, but I'm super happy that the rest of the team carried me this time. And shout out to Aditya for pulling off a pretty sick comeback against me. That was really impressive.
Yeah, thanks for that. That game took away 2 or 3 years of my life for sure.
I was impressed. Nice job.
Yeah, that was a 1-point win. I remember looking at the slip and thinking, that hurts. It always hurts when it comes down to 1 point like that.
Yeah, well, I saw Rifley, so I was just expecting to lose, and then I thought I was going to win until he actually I didn't actually see the play. I only saw the one that I blocked.
Yeah. So actually, I didn't see Rifley. I saw you had Crepon there for I think yes. So I thought I tried to block it, setting up Yarn or RAY. So that was the logic.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna play. But yeah, so
It was a great end game. I was watching that.
Yeah. Aditya, I had another question that I wanted to ask you about. In your game with you and Will, first, I really loved your extension of Tingly to Dauntingly. That was very fun. I think we'll add that to our longest
Cool.
words list on
That
the
happened?
notable game section. Yeah, early in the game.
Ooh.
Yeah, but that was not a great play in a vacuum, but I just saw the word and I just, I mean,
Definite
it's
style
not,
points.
yeah, it just got 16 or something, so it wasn't.
We were still excited when we visited your
There
game.
probably
and saw
wasn't
it.
much. There probably wasn't anything that much better than that. So it's one of those positions where if you have two moves that are roughly equal and one is massively better style points, why not go for it? That was my read on it.
Yeah, love the style points. But in a more strategic question too, at the end of that game, Aditya, when you played Broom, some of the comments in the chat were whether you could play Roo, RO, or Room, leaving the top hook open for you since you had the last B and the blank, so that you could hook the B on Roo, making Brew, or you could also have played Room holding the B, except that the V was unseen to you, and so if Room was a possibility. I don't know, did you consider any of those other possibilities of leaving the spot just above Room open and then trying to hook a word to play horizontal to that?
I did consider Room, but I thought it scored 2 less, and I thought he could get away by playing like something like Vocal or something on that triple file. So I thought he could outscore me.
I see.
And I think that was a game with a J, right? Was that the game? I with the J. Yeah. So
your rack
I could
was-
potentially be stuck with the J.
Got it.
So
yeah, you
yeah.
had like FHJ blank or something. So it was going to be tricky.
Yeah, so if I have the B with that, then it makes it like very difficult to do anything worthwhile, even using the Broom play. So I just went for Broom, and I hope not to draw the J. I mean, that's all I can do in that situation.
Yeah, which he did. He drew it. So
got it. And Dave, we had a question from, I think this is Josh Sokol, Axer Typo, asking, in your final endgame in round 5, when did you become confident that you were winning? I don't know if you have a moment where you felt like you could win this.
Well, I was really low on time, so I was pretty tense in that end game, but I just saw I could go out in 2 and score like around 40-ish, so it seemed like it was going to hold up.
Nice. I think I remember asking this question of Nigel one time of when can you finally start to relax in a game? Because I have so many games where I thought I was up by a comfortable margin, and then I'm playing against somebody awesome, and they just come back with bingo, bingo, and then an X bomb, and then I'm looking down at the board thinking, oh God, how did this go so horribly wrong? And I think his response to me was something like, if you have less than a third of the tiles left and you're up by 150, then yeah, that seems like you can start thinking about lunch at that point. You can probably relax a little bit. Yeah.
Jeez.
It'd be nice.
Insight.
Be nice
Never let up.
Yeah.
Scoring never stops.
Scoring never stops, and yeah, you can't start thinking towards lunch until you're already winning by a lot, apparently. Yeah. Nice.
We're thinking towards lunch over here, actually. Good to think of it.
Yes, the timing here. Thanks, West Coast people, for waking up so early, and I will include myself and Evans in that. And thanks to our players in India too for staying up a bit later in your evening. It was really tricky to try to find a time when people were not asleep in order to make this match happen. So we really appreciate that.
You guys get to enjoy a midnight snack.
Yeah. Another question to everybody, and we've asked, I think, a few different players this throughout the tournament, but what do you think about 15 minutes in terms of the timing for the games? I know a lot of you ended up running your clocks down really low. Do you feel like this was a good challenge? Was it too short? Do you wish it was longer or shorter?
15 minutes is optimal, actually. 15 minutes is, I think, the perfect time for an online game. 25 minutes, I think, when you're playing on the board is sufficient, since you're not doing any tile tracking and not really counting the score. So I think 15 minutes is sufficient online games.
Yeah, for the sake of the viewership, I think it can't be more than 15. I personally don't think I ever found a rhythm playing online this whole tournament, but I'm sure we'd all get used to it.
I'm with Jesse on that, but I still think 18 minutes would be ideal for a tournament of this level, because there's a lot of close end games, and there's a lot of pressure. So I think 15 minutes is a bit too less when you're playing, amongst the best players in the world. So 18 minutes is a good mix of getting enough time to plan your game throughout, dividing it maybe into three sections. But yeah, I could use the extra 3 minutes. Yeah.
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 I'm probably in
Yeah.
like the opposite situation where like I'd like to see it be 12 minutes, and I think part of that is because I've played 50 to 100,000 blitz games on ISC, and like that's what I know on ISC is playing fast games, and it's been such a hard switch to try to like slow down. And I think on a lot of my games I would still have 7, 8, 9 minutes, 10 minutes going into the end game, just because like it's just a hard adjustment. So.
Mhm.
But I guess the cool thing is that like it's really easy to run tournaments with all sorts of time controls, and I think that's a nice thing that online very simply like offers out of the box.
Yeah, it's also great to have simultaneous games that you can bounce between on the coverage. Like I guess if we're all 3 minutes and everyone would be done at the same time, but it seems like my slowness wasn't like a terrible holdup for the tournament. So.
No, it was good. And if anything, Jesse, it gave us a little something to look forward to at the end of each round, because usually your game was the last one to finish.
Mm.
Welcome, Dion. Glad you could join us.
Hi, thank you.
Hello, hello.
Okay.
All right. One other game that I did want to ask you guys about was in round 3, Austin, you and Akshay were playing each other, and what a nail biter. That game was so close. I don't know if you remember, or maybe you've already blocked it out of your mind, but did you want to comment on that at all? What you might have been thinking?
Yeah, we both thought that was a really strange game. Again, I think we both struggled on time, and if it had probably been in real life, I think the end game would have been completely different. We were both super low on time, and
go ahead.
It was really weird distribution early on. I drew 3 S's on my first track, played off 1 with a U, then drew another U, played that off, and then drew the Q. So it was it was. I think I had 9 points in the first 3 moves, and
Wow.
I think someone commented on that in the chat too, that it ended up being a lot closer than we expected.
Yeah, it was a really weird end game with just so few vowels that were left at the end. I was just trying to score, but the highest score I could get was like 15 or 20 points. And Akshay was always scoring like 30 points every time and just catching up. And I just probably just needed the S at the end or another vowel or something just to get out of it. Didn't fall my way.
Nice. More general question for our players from India. I know there was a pretty awesome article by Susan Ninnis in ESPN for ESPN India. Have you had much media outreach about this tournament? I know we've seen some articles in India and Pakistani news, but I was curious to see what the response has been like out there for you guys. Are you all celebrities now?
It's been good. I mean, a lot of people have appreciated the fact that it has been published in the news, and we've been getting a lot of well wishes from almost most of our people in our circles, and a few others also who we do not know otherwise. So, in terms of the reach, this article on ESPN was really good. But I think she's doing a follow up, which should be coming out tomorrow too. So, yeah, we hope more media can cover such interesting tournaments.
Awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of the other Indian players want to comment.
I think that was the only article that I saw. But yeah, like Sherwin said, it got a lot of buzz, and hopefully it kickstarts something big in India. With the whole lockdown, the whole focus is on online activity, and something like this just raises the profile of the game overall.
For sure.
I think an India-Pakistan final would have been huge, but
Yeah.
Yes. We think that would have been quite the spectacle. I don't even know how we would have commented or commentated that, but it would have been very, very exciting.
Yeah, but I suppose from a spectator's perspective and from the from the average Scrabbler's perspective, this was a great final, and I think we did great to make it so far. And the US were always going to be the stronger team on paper, but yeah, it's still heartbreaking.
Yep, definitely get that. The United States was the #1 seed going into the tournament, so the #1 seed ended up pulling it through at the end. But gosh, what a tough road it's been for all of the teams to get here. There were so many 13-12 matches, incredibly exciting finish, and it seems like Team USA had a little bit of world revenge here, and that at Alchemist they needed to go 5-0, and this time they also needed to go 5-0, but this time they made it happen. So congratulations on that. I hope it feels good. And although very sorry for the Team India to be on the receiving end of that.
As the lone loser in the Alchemist game where we needed to go 5-0, we also needed Australia to go 0-5, and they went 1-4. So
That's true.
I felt horrible knowing that I was the only person losing.
What was it like for, I have to imagine that in round 5, Team India, you went in feeling slightly optimistic but cautious, and Team USA, I have to think you went in feeling pessimistic, but you hadn't given up yet. What kind of mindsets were you all in, or what did that pressure feel like? Was it any different than the other rounds that you were playing?
I thought we'd lost, so I had no pressure. I thought we'd already lost. I discounted.
Just do your best to win your game. That's all you can think about.
Yeah, I don't really feel any change. It's almost easier if you're behind. Like,
you go lose almost. I mean,
if you try to play too cautious, you can just have games slip away for that reason. You should just play your normal game. And coming from behind, that's all you can do.
Have you all had situations? Go ahead.
Yeah, we had a similar situation when we played Team UK in the playoffs earlier on.
Right.
And we lost 5 out of the last 5, and that really hurt. So we were cautious of it definitely because, well, we were playing the best team on in the tournament. So, well, even though we were a little confident, we were sure that okay, we can't let our guard down. But yeah, we all had some really tough last game. So it did hurt, yes, but very well done to a brilliant team.
For sure. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
And India also had a huge comeback against Canada, was it? I think so. It's not.
Australia.
It's definitely or Australia. That's right.
Yeah,
so it was.
That was crazy. That was a lot of fun.
It's not as if Team India is somehow bad in round 5. It's just this tournament is crazy with stuff like that. You never know when you're going to hit a round that's lopsided with drawing and breaks. So,
That's a great format. It just this like a step into the like in a new direction. I've never played a tournament exactly like this, and it was just perfect. It's like the right balance of like excitement and things can still happen, and it's like the right balance between like chance and letting the stronger team win or whatever. I don't. Not that we're the stronger team. That's not my implication. Like anyone could have won this. Like 2 games go differently, and like the final is, or one, like making the final was like hard enough.
Yep.
Hey, I'm gonna jump off for the sake of my phone and tethered data, but congrats again, team, and congrats Team India for like an awesome showing. Thanks for beating the Australia team for us as well. It has to be said.
Thanks, Conrad.
You're most welcome.
Thank you, Conrad.
Look forward to playing y'all again soon. Hopefully at the next Alchemist. Yeah.
Yep. In terms of the structure of the tournament, we have heard a lot of really positive feedback from people who did like it. If we were to run something like this again or something more variable, do you all have any ideas or suggestions or wish lists of what you would love to see coming next? And I'll open that question up to the chat too. We are thinking about what will come next for the Coco and in terms of its virtual tournaments. So if you have ideas, please let us know.
More teams.
More teams.
More teams.
More countries.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Virtual Premier League.
That would be nice.
That's straight from Evans. That's straight from Evans. I'm just expressing it here. That was his idea, not mine.
Yeah, we were initially not sure that we were going to be able to field 5 people from 16 different countries, and we ended up having, I think, 18 full country teams that filled out. Sri Lanka also fielded a team of 5 that ended up not qualifying as one of the top 16, and I think Hong Kong was the other country that also had 5 people.
I like 16 teams, but having like some kind of play-in system that'd be sweet.
Ooh.
Of course, that's a lot of extra work for you, but it's not really my problem. So.
Like a prelim to qualify. Yeah, we definitely are thinking about trying to be diverse and inclusive, and for teams who, especially countries who weren't able to play in this World Cup, but who were interested and went through the effort of signing up last time, we are thinking about how to find ways to make it possible for them to qualify in the future.
Yeah, India was a 3 seed. That's crazy,
insane.
right? Like the Westbrook ratings skew a little bit towards the traditional powerhouses, right? Or like people with frequent access to like these big events where all the other experts are. So it'd be cool to diversify that.
I would have liked to play some other teams potentially, but I don't know how it can really be, how the format can be improved. But just we never played some of the other guys like Australia or Canada or.
Well, it's kind of their fault, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe like next time the play-in rounds, you could, like, if you've already played a team this tournament, you would not play them again in the play-in rounds, or just throwing something out there to get a little more variety in the matches.
Got it. Yeah, we welcome all ideas. And as Van and Oli pointed out, we did think about doing a round robin. Our first incarnation of this idea was to do sort of a virtual version of Alchemist Cup where all of the countries would play each other. And Michael Tang helped us think about adapting the FIFA World Cup to the format that we ended up using for this tournament, which in honesty, I feel like ended up being, for me, quite a bit more exciting because you did have that concept of teams getting knocked out as the tournament went on. I'll also say that as co-director of this tournament, logistically, it got a lot easier as we had, we started with 200 games every weekend for 3 weeks, and then that whittled down to the final 25 games this weekend, which from a lift standpoint was a lot easier. Both Evans and I and the many people who formed our streaming squad volunteered hundreds of hours to make this tournament happen, so we're grateful that the workload started to whittle down a little bit towards the end. We had a question or request in the chat that they'd love to hear a bit more from Nakul and Udayan, if you two want to share anything with the Twitch audience.
I'd like to thank everyone from the Cocos Travel team, Jennifer, Evans, and even Michael, who have helped organize this tournament. It's been a fantastic experience, which we've not experienced before. So, thank you for all the support. Also, congratulations to the US team for their fantastic achievement. And this is the first virtual World Cup, and I hope that we continue with this even in the future. So kudos to everyone who has been part of this, even the commentators. We've had 5 different commentators, and they've given really good coverage. And that has actually made a great viewing experience for all the viewers across the world. The coverage that people are seeing has really helped them understand the games and see how they can improve on their games. So the coverage has been fantastic.
Absolutely. Well said.
Thanks, Nakul.
Yeah, guys. I'd just like to echo Nakul's sentiments. I think the tournament looked great on paper, and I think the way it played out, it was beautifully. I think we got to play some amazing teams. I, for one, I think, except for Dave Vegan, I don't think I've played anyone else in person, especially across the board. So, yeah, this is one of the things that it does. It helps you match your wits against the best in the business. And we got to play a good, strong team every time. And I think it was handled very well. The ideation was fantastic. So was the execution. And given the times that we're living in, I think online Scrabble is here to stay, at least in the near to mid future. So more events of this kind will be will be very interesting. And congrats again to the Americans for holding your own in the last game. Very well done.
Yes, we could not believe it
Thanks.
came down to that. Thank you both so much. Wayman, I see your question in the chat about, are there any plans for news about the tournament to go out to US media? We're definitely keeping our eye open for opportunities like that and fielding inquiries where they come. One of the things that we have thought about in terms of some of the growth and recruitment plans for the Coco to grow the Scrabble community more largely is to think about some targeted advertising. There are a lot of people who play Scrabble Go. You can place ads with those apps saying, hey, did you know that tournaments happen? Sometimes in person when COVID's not keeping us all at home. And having funds to be able to purchase that kind of advertising, as well as to reach out to other people in the communities where we think casual Scrabblers might be, will be one way that we see of helping to grow the game beyond the current tournament community. Other thoughts from our players here? Any other questions from people in the chat?
I need to. I'm going to need to excuse myself. I got to go eat lunch, and then Austin and I are actually going to hang out this evening in the flesh. So I got to get on the road to go hang out with him.
Oh, how cool!
We'll get to celebrate a little bit.
All right. Well,
Have fun, guys.
Yeah, I will wrap up our.
Sorry, y'all can keep going. I'm just going to duck out real quick. India,
That's okay.
congrats on getting this far.
Yeah, I gotta go too. I got stuff at
Okay.
3, so I'm starving, so I have to eat.
Yep.
But great match. Thanks to the organizers. This was amazing, and let's get more events like this on the calendar. I agree. I echo all of those ideas. So.
Yep. Well, thanks
everybody.
Thanks to everybody. Thanks to our Twitch viewers. Thanks to all of the players. If you enjoyed this World Cup coverage and you want to see more events like this from the Coco, please do consider throwing a $5 contribution our way. It does help keep us going. And for those of you who haven't gotten enough Scrabble yet, we're going to go raid Ben Schonbrun, aka Benji's Scrabble stream. So thanks again to all of our players in the live lounge. And I'm going to turn us over to Benji's stream now. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. See you.
Congrats, India. Thanks so much.
Thanks. Congrats.
All right, and if I do this right, we are going to raid Benji. But first, I'm going to drop a link to. Here we go.